Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you are, thank you so much for coming back to my corner of the internet. Today, it finally came. We've got the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Lure palette and the Trove palette. So if you'd like to see what these palettes look like, how they swatch, how they perform, and what look I create, stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. 24 shades for the Mermaid Within. Shades inspired by the fantasy of mermaids, tales of pirates, and the beauty of the ocean. Our signature trios of depth, mid, and transition tones in a variety of magical tones for all your mermaid-inspired looks. We can't wait to see the beauty you create with our Lure palette. $46 USD. Open your treasure trove to find the most precious multichromes perfectly chosen to complement Lure or stand alone. These shades shift 3 to 4 ways depending on angle and lighting. The ultimate fantasy shades for your gorgeous look. Literally the moment I saw this announced, I knew I had to have it. The color story. Oh my gosh, the color story. I love that they mentioned the mermaid fantasy because this is fulfilling all of those dreams. You've got the browns for the pirate ship, the greens for the seaweed, the pinks and purples and teals and blues for the mermaid. I'm really glad that they added the shimmer shades on the top row rather than just sticking with the multichromes in the Trove palette. I think it was a really smart decision to keep the multichromes in a separate palette because they're so much more expensive to create, but also for consumers to purchase. So rather than putting the multichromes in the Lure palette and jacking up the price on this palette, they decided to keep it separate, and I think that was so smart. Because not everybody wants to pay $100 for a single eyeshadow palette. Although, the Blend Bunny palettes would be worth it if they were. With a discount. That's pretty expensive. I digress. This is my first time seeing this in person, so we've got to swatch it for sure. First shade is the shade Pearl. Folklore. Charmed. In a Bottle. Sailor's Delight. Bioluminescent. Now getting into the matte shades, Storm Ahead. Seafoam. Jellyfish. Lost at Sea. Baited. Catch Me. And starting with the next row, Pirate's Life. Mermaid Lagoon. Seductress. Sea Nymph. Explore. And starting with the last row, which is also the deepest row, we've got Black Sea, Uncharted, Tentacles. $322 meters. X marks the spot. And the deep. And there we have it, all 24 shades of the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Lure eyeshadow palette. And you guys know I won't leave you hanging. As always, here's the photos of the swatches, one with flash here, and one without flash here. And of course we can't forget about our video close-up. And now for the Trove palette. The first shade is Treasures Untold. Cove. Dive Deep. And Mermaid Tears. And there's all 4 shades in the Trove palette. Now let's see these close up. Obviously the eyes are primed and we're ready for some eyeshadow. I'm trying this new thing where I do my brows before the rest of my makeup. It's so weird seeing my face like this. I don't know if I'm gonna like this new method or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot, see how it works out. But while I was doing them, I was looking at the color story in this palette, trying to figure out what the heck I was gonna create because there are so many options. This is like the never-ending story in a palette. Not gonna lie, I kinda love it. The only thing I know for sure is that I want to use some of the teals or blues because I want to match my shirt a little bit. I at least want to have the color of my shirt in it just because I did that on purpose. So either Catch Me, Look at C, or See Nymph. Probably Look at C, I feel like is the closest. But I also want to use the greens and some of the purples. So there's a lot of options here, okay? But I think a safe starter is gonna be the shade The Deep, right here on the bottom corner. For some reason in the pan, this looks like it's like a dark purple blue, but it's definitely not. On the eye, it is a navy. Completely navy, no purple at all. By the way, gotta give kudos where kudos are due. I love the layout of this palette. Just like all of the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes, the layout is by column, so every shade range goes from shimmer to lightest to darkest, within the same column of shades. So it's almost like you've got a monochromatic look in every column. And I love that. You can be monochromatic every day of the week, except Sunday. That's your day of rest. That's funny, because I'm actually filming on Sunday. I think we should go into a little bit of green now. So I'm gonna take Mermaid Lagoon, oh, it's the perfect green, and put it on the outer corner on top of the blue, but only on the outer edge, because I'm gonna save the tealy blue color for the inner corner. We're only 2 shades in and I'm already so excited for how this is gonna turn out. And as always, any blending is gonna happen with the lighter shade being blended downward so that the darker colors don't end up making a huge mess all the way up. I don't got a lot of room to work with. I need to keep things tiny. In fact, this brush is actually too big for what I'm trying to do with it. But I'm just using the longer edge of the brush to just try and keep everything really, really detailed and concise. Now getting into the turquoise. Let's go in with Sea Nymph. Oh, this one's so gorgeous. And like I said, this shade is only gonna be for the inner half of the crease. This is looking so good already, and it's only 2 colors. Blend Bunny, I hate you, and I love you. Making me spend money I don't really have. Look at that shade. That is like fluorescent. Oh, she's so good at this. Now we're gonna go even lighter. I don't think I'm gonna have room for the pink now that I'm kind of getting higher up. I feel like I'm running out of room very quickly. But for the next lightest shade, I'm gonna use Sea Foam, and that's gonna go on top of the deeper green. Oh, that is nice. Wow. And finally, we're gonna use the lightest of the blues, Lost at Sea, and that's gonna be the lighter shade for the inner corner. Now let's go in with our first shimmer shade. I know this is gonna be way too intense for a brow bone highlight, but I'm still gonna use it for a brow bone highlight. Let's use Folklore. I feel like it's gonna be the perfect topping on the green side. I really wanted to use In a Bottle because it's a lighter blue, and I thought it would make this blue carry out more and it matches my shirt more, but I feel like for cohesion, let's just use Folklore. Attempting first just to pick it up with a flat brush, not using my finger since it's the brow bone. Hopefully it will work. If not, we'll improvise. It's a really flaky shade, so really all it did was apply a couple little flakes, but it put down the base color everywhere else. So I'm gonna keep trying to build it up with the brush. Worst case, I'm just gonna take a foam tip applicator and apply it. I assume if I just keep building up the flakes, we'll get there eventually. Okay, really good to know. So you can just pack on the flakes, then use the end of the bristles to start blending the shade out, and it still stays metallic as you're blending it. And of course, once it does get blended out, it blends like butter. It's perfect, it's so smooth. With the blend on it done, I'm gonna take a little bit more of the shade Sea Foam and just melt Sea Foam and the shimmer shade in a little bit better so they're not so separated. It'll also help get rid of those really sharp lines and make it just a little more smooth and blended looking. Now before we go in with the multi-chromes, I'm gonna go ahead, pop off camera, clean up the outer edge, and cut the crease, and we'll move on. Okay, you guys, it is the magic moment of multi-chrome, and I'm using Dive Deep. I feel like that's gonna be perfect with this. I was actually thinking about using Mermaid Tears, but the shift is so dark. Yeah, there you go, you can see it. It's very, very dark. Actually, that would go with the outer. No, I already chose. Dive Deep it is. Again, I'm gonna try a flat brush. I don't know if it's gonna work in these multi-chromes, but we will try. Yeah, I think it's gonna pick up the exact same as the shimmers in the palette. Oh, Oh, don't push too hard in those. My goodness. Woo! We got flakes everywhere. So at least we know for sure 100% it's sort of flaky if you try to go in with a flat brush. Since I broke it and picked up so much on the brush anyway, I'm just gonna use what's on there, build up the base layer, and then I'll finesse it as I go. Oh! Even with the little bit that I had on the brush, it is magnificent. Oh, mermaid magic. Oh no, I forgot to put a base down. Wow. You know what? I don't think I'm going to put a base down. No, I probably need to. Give me just a second. Okay, let's try that again now that I've got a nice clean base down. Not quite as impactful now that it's not going on a greasy skin lid. I used some Vaseline to cut my crease, and I'm pretty sure there was a little bit left whenever I initially swiped the brush on my lid, so it was super impactful. So currently, just like it worked for the shimmer shade on the brow bone, this is building up with flakes that I'm blending out. Obviously, that means if I use my finger, I won't have that problem, but I want a really sharp edge on this cut crease. Let's try a flat brush that's a little more fluffy. Okay, that did make it a lot easier to pick up and move around. So just so you have an idea, the pink brush is what I was using first, then I switched to the black brush. Definitely a lot more success with the black brush. And that of course is no fault of Blend Beauty, that's just the nature of the formula. I'm so glad we went with this shade. I think it is perfect for this look. Alas, she is on, she is beautiful, and she is perfect. I'm gonna take a little bit more of the dark blue shade just to melt in the outer V so that these blend in seamlessly, and that's it for the top of the look. Because of the dark blue flip in this shade and the dark blue that's on the crease are so close to the same color, it literally looks like it just turns into the same blue shade on the outer edge. I wish you could see what I see when I turn, because it really brings it all together. Let me see if I can make that blue happen, or the purple. You can kind of see it there and how it shifts on the outer edge. Oh wait, yeah, there you go. Now you can see it. But it's like a dark purple blue. It looks exactly like the shade in the crease. Boom, the eyes are done. Pretty much. I mean, I gotta do the under eye, of course, but I'm probably just gonna take these beautiful colors I used in the crease and carry them down to the lower lash line. So I'm gonna pop off camera one more time, finish off all of my face makeup, and give you guys my final thoughts on the Blend Cosmetics Lure and Trove palettes. Not that you probably don't know what I think already. See you soon! Okay, you guys, here is our completely finished look. So what do you guys think? You already know what I think. I'm obviously obsessed, not only with the Lure palette, but also with the Trove palette. I mean, this duochrome on my lid is magical. It is literally giving me the mermaid fantasy that I so truly desire. I cannot wait to play in more of these shades in both palettes, combining different color stories and seeing what we can create and come up with. I know there are so many more looks that are able to be created. The possibilities are endless. The limit is your imagination. Literally. So obviously for me, it's a 10 out of 10, recommend for sure. I'd say the Multichrome palette isn't absolutely a necessity because there are shimmer and metallic shades in the Lure palette, but if you want that little bit of extra and you can afford it, definitely give them a shot, definitely. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget, if you haven't seen my post on the community page, my custom fragrance with Scentcraft is now available. I will have it linked down below if you want to try it. If you do decide to get yourself a bottle, thank you so much for the support, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know that you did. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!